And you're taking a live look over Crooksville High School. It's homecoming day here as the Ceramics welcome the West Muskingum Tornadoes, and they just won a big game. We welcome you now into the broadcast booth. Dylan Kearns alongside Ted Snyder. You know, for Crooksville, it's a homecoming affair here tonight. They're fired up. I mean, we got here tons of people excited for this matchup. They're 4-2 on the year, a young team, but hey, what are you expecting from Crooksville tonight?
You know, I'm very excited to be here. It's my first time at this facility. It's a beautiful stadium they got right here in front of their high school, but what to expect, I'm really not sure. Both these teams play in the same region, Division 5, Region 19. Playoff seeding on the line. Currently, West Muskingum sits in 12th, the Ceramics in 16th, so a lot on the line here. You mentioned the crowd, pretty pumped up out here. They just crowned a homecoming queen, so we're ready to get this thing started.
A very young team for Crooksville, only 5 seniors on the roster, so definitely something to keep in mind tonight. On the West Muskingum side, a big win last week after a week off. They suffered 2 losses, a week off that they had postponed against Riverview. They came out and dominated 42-0 against Morgan.
Yeah, a little lethargic in the first half, but the second half they really turned up the Jets and put the Raiders in their rear view, and now they got to make the road trip. This is the first time they've been on the road in over a month, so we'll see how the West Muskingum Tornadoes respond to a hostile crowd on homecoming night here in the village of Crooksville.
And one of our players of the game last week was Jake Anton. We caught up with him ahead of tonight's game to discuss how he expects the crowd to play a factor in right here in Crooksville.
It was needed, much needed, coming off of those 2 tough losses, and then obviously no Week 5 game. It's a long time going. Like, that's the longest in my high school career that I've gone without a win. So it was a much needed win, and it was a good recovery, a good bounce back week, and it was needed.
Oh, absolutely. You know, especially after missing out on Week 5. You know, so kind of having that break in between games that we talked about, you know, last week when you were here. The mission at this point is to win these next 5 games, but also just to continue to build ourselves into the best team we can be. And so last week was the first step in that. I think we probably played our most complete game from an execution standpoint, pretty clean. Very few penalties on both sides of the ball, which again was a point of focus for those 2 weeks in between games. So yes, absolutely felt good to get back on track and hopefully continue that track this week. You know, Crooksville won. They've had a little more success this year than the past few, which is awesome for them. Their quarterback is their engine. You know, he's a dynamic player, a really good athlete, and so, you know, a point of focus for anybody that plays them is to, you know, keep track of him. Now at the same time, you know, he can escape the pocket and make a lot of plays with his legs, but he also keeps his eyes up and has a really good arm. His receivers do a good job. His running back does a good job of finding some seams when plays break down, and, you know, provides them with potential to have really big plays.
So, interesting note there, you know, Anton speaking, he's been here, he's a senior quarterback now, the longest they've gone without a win since he's been there.
That's
so
incredible.
It goes to show you the strides this program's taken.
It certainly has. You know, the last couple of years they had Rashid Cisse to lean on. He's no longer here, but in his absence, I think this Tornadoes team is one of the most dangerous to defend because they're so well balanced. Their run pass balance is second to none in the league.
It is, and we've seen Carter Windland a couple times. 9 touchdowns on the year for him. In terms of Anton taking that step in his senior year now, you mentioned he did have Cisse to rely a little bit on. The run game could be a big factor, but this year, Anton's saying, this is my team, I'm a senior, and he's got 13 touchdowns on the year, spread the wealth last week to 3 different receivers.
Yeah, he's really taken some big strides forward the last couple of years, but he's taken on that leadership role this year in the absence of Cisse, and he really has made some sound decisions, some quality throws, intermediate and downfield, and he's really the leader of this team.
So the Ceramics looking to get a win here on homecoming. The Tornadoes looking to come in here and play spoilers on it. We'll have a big game here to watch, and 4-2 versus 3-2. We'll have that game coming up for you. For now, we're going to step aside, and we'll be back for kickoff. You're watching MVL football on South 60 Films.
Tonight's game ball sponsor is Tim and Kathleen Danielson and LifeWise Academy of Crooksville. Friendly reminder, no one is allowed on the track and field except for those who have been asked to help. No playing in the end zones. Another friendly reminder for at the end of the game, please pick up, throw away all trash and recyclables in the assigned areas. We'd also like to take the opportunity to thank the Muskingum Valley League sponsors for 2024-2025 season. We'd like to thank Zane State College, the Energy COOP, Zimba Brothers Companies, and Park National Bank. Please welcome the West Muskingum Tornadoes. Bad behavior at today's event will not be tolerated. Please keep it positive with officials, opponents, coaches, and each other. Remember, high school sports are about students learning and growing, not just winning. Let's all do our part to bench bad behavior. Please welcome to Ceramic Stadium, your 2024 Crooksville Ceramics! Leading off for the
All
Tornadoes.
right, a lot of pregame festivities here on homecoming for Crooksville. There was, I think, half the school was out there on the field getting ready to have the Ceramics take the field in this one.
It's a big football game for the Ceramics, as a win tonight for either squad would go a long way to securing a playoff berth. Tough task tonight for the Ceramics. We've seen the Tornadoes several times this year, and they are as advertised. As we said in pregame, very well balanced offensively, and defensively they may just be even better. Their team speed sideline to sideline is as good as I've seen in the MVL.
They're also clever with their kickoffs, and Silas Kuhn getting ready to kick this one away. He's put it on the ground to start each of the last 3 games. We'll see if that's his method tonight. Rocking the pink cleats here, Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, as we get set to kick off here from Crooksville. Kuhn ready to put boot to leather, and this one's in the air. He kicks it deep, and it'll be fielded at the 10. And there'll be a little bit of running room, but coming in to make the stop. Big tackle from Amari Harris, the freshman, coming in to make the play on special teams.
He's trying to make a name for himself, Mr. Harris. Great play. Stop that ball carrier in his tracks, so the Ceramics will set up shop at the 19-yard line here, Dylan, and we'll get our first look at the Ceramics offense led by sophomore Brayson Hill at quarterback.
Yeah, he is the real deal. We've seen him a little bit last year. The freshman, he was a freshman last year. Now he's a sophomore.
A very, very young Ceramic team as a whole. I think I only counted 4 or 5 seniors on the entire roster.
So the Ceramics start the game with 4 wide. Drops back, pass across the middle, incomplete. He takes a shot there.
That's one thing to keep an eye on. If you're going to drop back and pass against the Tornadoes, they have a vicious pass rush led by Mr. Wes Houston, 240-pound senior who plays both ways, but defensively he can just really change a football game.
So our apologies. It is Brody Cottrell out here, the starting quarterback for the Ceramics. His first pass was incomplete. This time they look to the ground, and he's going to be bottled up in the backfield, and that's a name you'll hear a lot tonight. Carter Smith in there to make the tackle.
Carried by Potter, tackled by Smith.
So it was Cam Potter. Great name for a Ceramic.
Yeah, sure is.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 10.
Talk about the youth. Starting quarterback here, another freshman. We mentioned the quarterback Brayson Hill was a freshman last year when he took the reins of this team, and now it's another one here. They're in a 3rd down and about 10 to go. Cottrell will take the snap, looks right, fires right, and it's incomplete. So a quick 3 and out for the Ceramics as West End will get the ball.
4th down.
Yeah, he was under heavy pressure there, just had to get that football away. It didn't have enough on it to make it to its intended receiver, so that's going to be a quick 3 and out. And punting from inside their own 20 is going to give the Tornadoes good field position here, as they have Connor Hill and Carter Smith both back to receive.
We've seen both of them make some noise in the return game so far this year. Snap and punts away. It's a pretty good punt, end over end, and it'll be fielded near the midfield mark, and it is Connor Hill who's tackled just about the 45-yard line as the West End offense will take over.
And this West Muskingum offense, as well balanced as we've seen, they really keep you on your toes with the run-pass mix, and
West Muskingum ball.
they have multiple capable runners on this team, including Carter Winland and Wes Houston, who love to run straight downhill between the tackles.
And to our point, we talked about Brayson Hill. He's in full uniform down there. Did not start the game at quarterback, so something to keep an eye on here. Was not originally in our injury notes as we started this game, as there's a first carry for Carter Winland, and he almost has a first down. He works his way just short of the sticks.
The same play they ran to open the game a week ago when we saw Carter Winland following his lead blocker, Wes Houston, for 9 yards.
So a 2nd down and 1. They go with the I formation, 2 wide receivers. And they'll go right back to Winland. This time he's bottled up. Tries fighting for a little bit more, but the Ceramic defensive line making a play there to stop Winland behind the line.
You could see the push the defensive line for the Ceramics got right there, which is a little surprising. Typically, it's the Tornadoes' offensive and defensive fronts who are controlling that line of scrimmage at the point of attack. But the undersized Ceramics drop Winland for a 2-yard loss on that one.
That was one of the 5 seniors. It was Caden Savage making a play. And this time it'll be a fake to Winland. Pressure in the backfield, but pass is complete to Wes Houston. And he will get his way well for a first down, and he's inside the 25.
Such a luxury to have a player, 6'2", 240 pounds, that you can send out on a pass route. Hit him with a little screen and a little run after the catch. I've been more and more impressed with Wes Houston every time I see him.
Last week I said the line reminds me of Peyton Hillis.
Yeah.
He's kind of just that downhill, can run it if he wants to, but he's also used in the receiving game we see there. And this will be a give to Carter Winland. Winland being patient as he runs the ball. He gets across the 15-yard line.
Carried by Winland.
He is a very patient runner, but he's also got great vision. Once he sees something he likes, he doesn't waste time. He puts his foot in the ground and runs forward. But last year we saw a lot of Carter Smith on jet sweeps, and they try to get the ball into Smith's hands anywhere they can, and that just hasn't been the case this year.
They motion 2 receivers to the right. It's Braxton Brownrigg in the slot. This is a give to Winland. Winland works his way forward, cuts in front, and he's in the end zone. So number 10 gets number 10 on the year as the Tornadoes strike early here with 8:50 to play in the first quarter.
You couldn't draw it up any better if you're Coach Nate Brownrigg. A 3-and-out defensively to start the game. You receive the punt and go straight down the field. All runs with the exception of the screen pass to Houston, and you're in pay dirt. 6-0 early.
Kuhn on the attempt.
So now Silas Kuhn will try to make it 7-0. Anton will hold. Kick is up, and it's good. Tell you what, he's automatic at those things.
He's pretty darn good, and it's just such a luxury to have at the high school level. A kicker you can count on to at least make PATs for you. And Kuhn is definitely that. He's just a junior, so they'll have his services for 1 more year after this. See what the Ceramics can get going offensively this time, as they really couldn't find any momentum as they tried to drop back and throw the ball against this Tornadoes defense. That's going to be a tough task to do, so they want to try to get something going on the ground. If you're Crooksville, first-year head coach Nathan Van Meter on the sidelines for Crooksville. A very successful start to his campaign. As we mentioned in the outset, 4-2 coming into tonight, but I think the toughest part of their schedule is from here forward. I think they've already played the teams that Division 6 and 7 teams, non-conference opponents, Byrne Union, Fisher Catholic.
Yeah, they started the year 3-0. They dropped last week to Philo, a big 37-7 route there. So also lost to Meadowbrook this year, but here on homecoming day, trying to get a win against a very tough opponent in West End. This kicks away, once again fielded near the 10, and makes a cut near the 30, and could have been a touchdown-saving tackle there made by Coleman Lloyd, but a big return for the Ceramics.
It was senior Jacob Hammer for the Ceramics on the return, sets them up in great field position at the 35-yard line. Let's see if they can get something going offensively. We mentioned just a moment ago, Nathan Van Meter, first-year head coach. He's also a former player here. Played quarterback here in the 2004 team.
So now we do see Brayson Hill. Very weird situation to start this one out. Wasn't the quarterback on the opening drive, but here he is to start the second drive as he feels the pressure and moves out right, being chased down with a stiff arm. He tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he does.
It's going to be about a loss of 1. Carter Winland finally tracks him down, but that young man made the best he could do out of nothing, as he initially was bobbling the snap and then just running for his life, essentially.
Very good runner is Hill. Something to keep in mind in this one. He has 9 rushing touchdowns from the quarterback position. So can definitely do it with his legs as well as his arm. 4 wide receivers. for the Ceramics. This is a give to the tailback, running left, and pressure. Great pursuit there from the West Muskingum defense, as it was Potter with nowhere to run.
Jake Anton, first one to arrive on the scene for West Muskingum, and he was in man-to-man defensive position against the wide receiver and still was able to get back there and make that play.
So 3rd down and 11. Went 3 and out on the first drive. They'll try to get a first down here. Hill takes the snap. More pressure in his face. Rolls out right. Eyes downfield. Beautiful pass. And it's off the hands of the receiver. Tipped and picked. There with the interception is Coleman Lloyd. And that's unfortunate because that was a ball right to Potter.
Yeah, that ball was intended for Potter. And I don't know if he lost his footing. It looked like the throw was on the money. And at the last second, it was just out of his reach. We'll get a look at it here. It looked like he may have slowed up or lost his footing just a tad, because Hill put that ball exactly where it needed to be.
Yeah, it looked like he may have overran it just a little bit and maybe lost his footing to like what you said there, but could have been a first down and maybe some more. It was
when the ball was in the air, I thought it was going to be a completion and a run after the catch.
So Lloyd with a big tackle on the kickoff and then an interception there, and there goes Winland. Winland with a hurdle gets a first down.
We saw him do that a week ago. At 205 pounds, he displays some really outstanding athletic ability. It might be a busy night for number 10 here tonight, if the Ceramics don't find out a way to slow that down, as he's getting large chunks of yardage.
7-0 our score. Anton in the pistol will look to his right. This pass is completed, and there's a little bit of blocking in front, but a load of Ceramics coming in to make the stop. Connor Hill on the reception.
It looked like that could have went for big yardage, but it was Gage Love there in defense for the Ceramics to bring down Connor Hill.
2nd down and 8.
You know, we talk about Crooksville's youth. They only have 5 seniors, a lot of underclassmen here, not only on the roster but playing. And I think that you look ahead to next year and the year after, it could be definitely something to keep in mind, as some other schools will be graduating players. This right here is a give, or rather a keeper for Anton. He's brought down short of the first down marker.
Going to be just shy of the marker. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 2 here, Dylan.
That brings up 8.
Be surprised if number 10 didn't get the ball on this down and distance.
From the 34-yard line, make some noise, Ceramic fans.
Now this stadium just absolutely beautiful. Right in front of Crooksville High School with Route 93 in the background.
So as you said, this is a give to Winley. He's not going to get there. Big pressure from the Crooksville D-line.
In fact, were the officials marking that ball, he may have lost a half a yard. Very, very impressive penetration by the Crooksville front. No doubt Nathan Brown Riggs is going to go for this at the Crooksville Ceramic 34-yard line, but huge down right here early in this game.
Crooksville can find a way to get the stop. They would have momentum. 3 wide receivers, and they motion Wes Houston, and he fumbles the ball trying for a quarterback sneak. And this is going to be Crooksville ball on the turnover on downs.
What a play for Crooksville. And I've never seen the Tornadoes run that play. And just got to wonder if Coach Brownrigg just needs to keep it simple on a night like this. Trying to mix things up a little bit and ends up costing them.
So that's a big turnover on downs. I don't mind the play call. We've seen Houston get several yards on each carry that he gets.
I think if you want Houston to run it, you can just hand it to him.
Right, get some blockers out in front. But now the Ceramics offense will take over, and they'll go right to Potter. And Potter's stuffed in the backfield. Getting in there to make the stop is Caden Fleming.
You see that defensive front for West Muskingum just completely blow that play up as we get another look in the Ohio Educational Credit Union replay. And over the past couple years, that's the unit I've been most impressed with. The West Muskingum defensive line they consistently win that battle up front and wreak havoc in their opponents' backfields.
And usually when you have a D-line dominating like that, you think of something quick because they come at you fast and you can just get something off quick and might give you some more time. Speaking of time, he's got some there, and Hill goes deep. Anton lunging for a pick. He didn't get it.
Well, that was a rare occasion where the Tornadoes backed out of their pressure. They only rushed 3, which allowed the Ceramics some time in the pocket to throw that pass. But so they only rushed 3. They had outstanding coverage on the back end. That one almost picked by Jake Anton. 3rd and long once again here, Dylan.
And I think that's something Coach Brownrigg would be proud of so far, at least putting the Ceramics in 3rd and long situations.
Yep.
You get in 3rd and short, then you can go for it on 4th, and then things can get sloppy from there. But find a ways to get stops so far in this one. 4 wide receivers. Hill looks to the sideline. He drops back. Free rusher as this one's thrown deep left. Pass will be incomplete. They say he was out of bounds. I think we should get another look at this.
Yep. And it was close, but I think that official got it right, as it was close. We're going to get another look right here.
Ohio Educational Credit Union replay. We'll take a look here. Is the foot in bounds? And I think he was. Yep. It was out of bounds.
Yep.
So great coverage right there by Braxton Brownrigg. So
that was a great throw. That ball was only where his receiver could catch it. And if he wasn't going to get it, the defender wasn't either.
Grayson Hill with 2 balls that were pretty solid on this drive. Even the one to Anton wasn't a bad throw. As this one is punted, and it's going to be a short one. That's where they yell Oski and run out. It's going to be checked up about the 47, where West End will take over. Good field position on every drive so far for the Tornadoes.
It's down at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, their defense really sets them up in prime position. And, if you're going to have off nights offensively, but when you have a defense like the Tornadoes, you can really hang your hat on that, and you have a chance to win each and every Friday night. And offensively, we've seen Anton spread the ball around all season long. He's only completed 1 pass tonight. That was to Houston.
Sort of been run heavy in this one. This time it will be Anton alone in the backfield, but this will be a pitch to Brownrigg. Brownrigg, some blocks, cuts, and there he goes past the 35, and he is taken out of bounds just past the 25-yard line. So little jet sweep play for the West End Tornadoes and positive gain on 1st down.
They've been using Braxton Brownrigg a lot more offensively this year, and he showed the great vision and speed right there. He's just a sophomore. They're bringing this one back, it appears, Dylan.
Yeah, it looks like there might have been a hold on the play.
That's not going to make Coach Brownrigg happy after a big chunk play. And it's kind of similar to what we saw a week ago. They came out a little lethargic, only led 14-0 at halftime, and really came out in the 3rd quarter and turned it up.
One thing we noticed last week against Morgan, they started to run the ball in the 2nd half, and they tried doing that so far in the 1st. This time they aired out West Houston wide open. They just sit down in that zone, and
that was
a big game.
Impressive tackle. Let's see if we can get the number there. Those red numbers are hard to make out down the field, but that's 240 pounds running right at you, and you just stick them. Number 11, was it Jacob Hammer?
I think it was Brayson Hill in on the tackle. So the quarterback making the play there. You can see the play sheet on his arm kind of gives that one away, but
he was giving up 70 pounds in that contest.
Here is a shoestring tackle as they bring Winland to the ground.
Got to tell you, this Crooksville defense is up for the challenge, it appears, here in the 1st quarter at least. Some outstanding tackles here in the early going. And 3rd and 2, it seems like this is the third or fourth 3rd and 2 they've had here already in the 1st quarter.
Have not made it easy for the Tornadoes offense. Has sort of had their way in a couple matchups so far this year. Anton takes the snap. It's going to be a pitch to Winland. Winland has some speed and some space, and there he goes. into enemy territory, makes a spin, and he's tackled down right where Brownrigg had his first down that was called back earlier on this drive, and it will set up the Tornadoes.
Hill on the tackle.
Yeah, Carter Winland, you see him break it to the outside right here, and some runners may elect to go out of bounds. Instead, he turns back inside, gains another 4 yards. Knocking on the door of the red zone are the Tornadoes.
So Anton now will go right back to Winland. And once again, that patient running that we've talked about so far tonight, I think that was the reason he got a big gain on first down.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he just is really patient, really follows his blocks well, waits for them to develop, and doesn't try to do it all himself.
Second down and 4.
So now Anton on second down. Once again, it's Winland's number, and he will fight. I think he's short of the first down.
To down around the 10-yard line.
Now that will move the chains.
By Hammer. First down, Tornadoes.
So 1:30 to play here in the first quarter. And the Tornadoes inside the red zone, looking to go up by 2 scores. Connor Hill's in the slot. And this will be a quarterback option, and Anton's brought down in the backfield.
Yeah, he was. He was dropped right on the spot. A ceramic defender. It's very hard to make out those numbers.
I tell you what, it seems like whenever West Ham feels like they have control on offense, Crooksville just pops them with a big defensive play.
Yeah,
So
what stood out to me for Crooksville is their tackling. Their tackling is outstanding.
this is a bootleg. Anton looks right, fires right, pass caught, touchdown, Tornadoes. This one to Connor Hill. So Anton fires a strike, and the Tornadoes go up by 2 scores here with 40 seconds to play in the first quarter.
And the Tornadoes just run it and run it and run it with Carter Winland, and that gets your focus of your defense looking at number 10 in the backfield. And then they throw it out wide to Connor Hill. He's got many weapons to choose from out wide. That time it was Hill on the receiving end for 7.
Touchdown number 14 for Anton on the year. Coons kick up and good.
That brings the score to West Muskingum 14, Crooksville 0.
So it's a 2-score game, but I think if you watch the game to this point in the first quarter, Crooksville's made some plays to where, there's a couple mishaps on offense, just the ball that was tipped and picked, and then, a couple well-thrown balls in good places, but there's been a couple of positives here in this one.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who comes out at the quarterback position for Crooksville in this series. If maybe Coach Van Meter is playing both guys to see who he wants to stick with going forward, or he's just comfortable with both guys and wants to get them both reps.
Yeah, we saw Brody Cottrell start the game at quarterback. It was Brayson Hill on the last 2 drives.
I know the pass rush got on Cottrell really quick, so it's hard to gauge. But as far as arm strength, I think Brayson Hill he threw some really couple quality passes downfield. They were incompletions, but he displayed the arm strength that it takes to throw the ball on top and over the top of this Tornadoes defense.
Silas Kuhn will kick a line drive kick that goes right off a Crooksville returner, and now he's going to have to juggle and pick it up. But he's got some space to the left, and there's a flag thrown, so it looks like it might be coming back. It was Jacob Hammer right there on the return.
Flag on the field.
Check the marker here. It should be a holding infraction or blocking the back against the Ceramics. No official indication yet. They're going to wave that one off, Dylan.
So the flag's picked up.
Flag picked up.
So Crooksville at their own 24-yard line.
24-yard line.
Really need to get something positive going offensively on this series.
31 seconds here to play in the first quarter. It'll be a quarterback keeper for Hill. And look at that. Good making something out of nothing. He's being chased by Tornado defenders, but he was able to gain a couple yards on first.
It looked like Taven Bennett was going to get him in the backfield. You see 13 right there. Just thought he had the angle, and then he didn't. Brayson Hill was able to make 4 yards out of what should have been a loss. Keeps the Ceramics on schedule, 2nd and 6.
So they will let this wind down, and that will be it for the first quarter here from Crooksville. West Muskingum off to a 14-0 lead here in this one. We'll step aside and bring you quarter number 2. You're watching MVL football on South 60 Films. Welcome you back. Quarter number 2, West Muskingum off to a 14-0 lead. We want to remind you that today's game brought to you by Fink's Harley Davidson. Live to ride, ride to live. Fink's quality cars and RVs, quick as a wink. Deal with Fink and Fink's easy leasing and rental. This is a second down carry to Cam Potter. Gets a couple yards. Ceramics offense, I think they need a first down.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's back-to-back running plays. That's the first time in this football game they've ran the ball on back-to-back plays. We haven't seen Crooksville this year, and it's obvious Coach Van Meter wants to be a pass-attacking offense, but you got to have to adjust on a night like this when the pass rush is just so fierce. The back end of the West Muskingum defense so fast and talented. I think on the ground is going to be your best chance for success.
We talked about the pass rush from West M so far as well. Maybe a little RPO here, short yardage play. They're going to run the quarterback. Hill is hit initially by Carter Smith.
That's going to be close. I think he's about a half a yard short from where the official is standing. Tough call for Nathan Van Meter, down 14-0. You're willing to gamble on 4th and a half a yard here in your own territory.
Yeah, with West M's powerful offense, you very well could find yourself in a 21-0 hole if you don't convert here.
Yeah, the Ceramics find themselves in a position of playing catch-up already just to start the second quarter of this one. So not a comfortable position at all for a young team, a first-year head coach, and not to mention the opponent they're going up against.
Yeah, this is definitely a tough spot. One of these spots we could look back, and they're going to call timeout. So Crooksville trying to think about what they want to do here.
Good timeout there. Coach Van Meter, let's talk about this. If we do want to go for it, let's make sure we're all on the same page here. I mentioned he's a former player, former quarterback here, Crooksville Ceramics. 2005 graduate, I believe, is Van Meter. And memory serves me correct, he was the quarterback on the very last team that actually won a playoff game for Crooksville. So a lot of history, a lot of tradition in Crooksville, but it's been a while since they've had the success they once did.
It's been since our partner Doug, who was here on the broadcast past couple weeks. He was the head coach of the now head coach.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Coach Clifford, they played their home games about a mile and a half northwest of here at the old Village Park. This new stadium, I am just very impressed by this stadium. The layout, the aesthetic of it is just remarkable.
Yeah, I came here. So when I worked at WHIZ, I moved here right before the football season started, and this stadium debuted that first year that I was here, and I went to their season first game here. There's a false start, and that'll move them back, and I think it's now a punting situation.
Yeah, that's gonna make the decision easy for Coach Van Meter right there.
But yeah, I mean, I was blown away. Came here the first time I covered the game. It was obviously a big story, you know. Crooksville, brand new facility, come out here, and it's a beautiful stadium. This and as well as the one in McConnellsville, Morgan. Their brand new field is awesome as well.
Yeah, this stadium here, I've driven by it several times, but I've never. It's got a completely different feel once you get in here. I love the entrance.
Yeah,
the way you come into the stadium, it's really cool.
So that punt is shanked, and I think Van Meter's thinking he might as well have gone for it if he knew that would be the result, as punt goes maybe 15 yards if that.
Punt down at the 42-yard line.
So now what you were hoping for if you're a Ceramic fan.
Yeah, a moment ago it was 4th and a half a yard, and hopes were high, and you committed a 5-yard pre-snap penalty. Didn't get a good punt off, and all of a sudden the Tornadoes have the ball inside your territory at the 42-yard line. If there was ever a time for a Crooksville turnover, now would be it. Anton in the pistol, has Winland behind him, and this will be a direct give to the receiver, Carter Smith.
His first offensive touch of the game. So many weapons. You know, we've seen Carter Winland and Wes Houston out of the backfield, but he's got so many dangerous receivers to throw to. Carter Smith and Connor Hill, Braxton Brownrigg, Coleman Lloyd, Taven Bennett. We've seen them all make plays this year. A very hard offense to defend.
And Carter Smith only being a sophomore, so he's got 2 more years after this. That's a high snap, but handled by Anton. He's running right. He's got some speed. He lowers the shoulder, tries to get some extra yards. He'll be tackled just short on that 2nd down tote.
He did try to get there, but a couple different Ceramics were there to lower the boom and keep him short of the marker. Going to bring up another 3rd and short. Seems like the Tornadoes have been in 3rd and 2 every series.
Last week against Morgan, the Tornadoes didn't find themselves in many 3rd down situations. They picked up yards and usually made 1st and 2nd down count to where they weren't put in those spots, but they find themselves here a lot tonight, and this will be a give to Winland. He's got the 1st down and more, and he's got a clear path to the end zone, and he will go in untouched. Carter Winland, his 2nd score of the day, and the Tornadoes take a 20-0 lead.
Carter Winland strikes again.
That's number 11 on the year, and a reminder, they had a game. They didn't play one of the weeks, so
right.
You know, he could be coming for Cisse's record if
I wouldn't go that far.
He'd need about 5 a game. But yeah, definitely still an explosive running game here with Carter Winland. He's a very talented back, and West Muskingum showcasing that offense.
All starts with the 5 guys up front. And once Carter Winland gets into that 2nd level, he really puts his skills on display. So 21-0 here, Dylan. Ceramics really need to find something on offense soon.
Yeah, it's entering potential blowout territory if you cannot get anything going offensively. They're in a 4th and short on their last drive, and that could have been a potential momentum shifter if they were able to get that, but the penalty backed them up, and then the bad punt, so now they have a hill to climb.
Thank you.
A reminder, Crooksville got the ball first, so it'll be West End getting the ball at halftime as well.
On the kick.
We see Crooksville is aligned to field this punt. There's a big gap between the front line and the 2nd. Now they're starting to move up a little bit because there's a void in there where Silas Kuhn likes to kick it and let his teammates try to run down and recover the kick. And if you've watched any film on West Muskingum, you will have seen that.
Kuhn looks to kick this one away. 9:25 here before the halftime break.
This one's deep, though.
He'll kick it deep. It'll be fielded there by Jacob Hammer. And Hammer still on his feet, gets across the 35-yard line. So he's shown some electricity in the return game there.
That's the 4th Tornado kickoff, and that's the 4th Potter return. He's returned every single, or Hammer, Jacob Hammer rather. He's returned every single kick
First and 10 from the 37.
for the Ceramics in this one. But a pretty good return, gets him up to the 37-yard line.
So Hammer, one of the seniors on this ceramic squad. Maybe you try to get him the ball a little bit more on offense. He made a couple men miss.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
So Hill takes the snap. He'll throw out a ball to Potter, and that one's off the hands. And that's going to be a hit on Winland.
Yeah.
A couple extra steps he probably didn't need there.
I agree. I do believe he probably had time to pull up on that one. You know, it's always easy to judge from up here, but it's a tough call down on that field. But I believe the official made the right call there. Got to protect the players.
First down, Ceramics.
Yeah, we'll see the replay of this one. Count the steps as he makes this hit. 1, 2. Probably could have checked up there. But now the ball's across midfield. First time all day for the Ceramics. Pistol formation. It's a fake to Potter. Hill rolls left, eyes downfield, fires a strike, and the pass is nearly intercepted.
Taven Bennett had an eyeful there. He was ready to run that one back. But what I noticed there on that last formation is they started this game in 4 wide, and they're condensing their formations, getting a lot more blockers in the formation, are the Ceramics now here in the second quarter. Recognized and felt that tornado pass rush.
Second down and 10.
Again, I don't think it was a bad ball for Hill. I think the receiver went a little bit too far into his route. It allowed Bennett to jump it and potentially get a grab. But unfortunately for West, it was not the case. Pressure off the edge, stepping up is Hill. Man, he feels pressure well back there. So he tries to get to the line, but he doesn't do it.
Hill with the keeper, tackled by number 69.
3rd and 11 for the Ceramics.
Number 33, Houston.
Not the down and distance they had in
Third
mind.
down and 11.
See if they can get something going downfield. Because you're gonna need to give Brayson Hill some time, but your receivers are also going to have to find a way to create space against the secondary of the Tornadoes, which features Anton and Connor Hill, Taven Bennett, and Braxton Brownriggs. 4 very, very formidable foes.
2 seconds on the play clock, and Hill just going to have to call timeout there. A little slow out of the huddle. He can't afford to go even further back on 3rd down, so a wise timeout there called.
Second charge timeout.
It'll be their second of the first half.
Friendly reminder.
Leaves the Ceramics with 1 timeout remaining before halftime.
No football.
I want to remind you that today's game brought to you by the Community Bank. Now's the perfect time to join the Go Local movement by banking locally with the Community Bank. Also, Fox Fire School's free public alternative education serving students grades K through 12. So a big 3rd down here for Crooksville. 3rd and 11, you're in enemy territory just by about a yard, but would you take 2 shots here? Would you go for it regardless?
It's hard to. I'm up here in the booth for a reason. We don't have to make those decisions. Tough calls for head coaches.
Just over 8 minutes to play before halftime.
I can only hear like every other word.
So Hill will take the snap. Pass incomplete. He was going in the direction.
Trying to get it to Hammer.
Yeah.
You just mentioned they should try to get the football in his hands, and they did so right there. You know, Brayson Hill's kind of giving his receivers opportunities to catch it, but they're just a little unwilling to put themselves in the position to get hit, I think, because that one was definitely a catchable ball, but he was going to pay the price for a small gain if he had caught that football.
Seen a couple to Potter that way that fell incomplete as well. So a new punter in the game now for Crooksville after a couple punts that went short. This one gets off, and that's a boot. Well up in the air, fair catch called for and taken by Connor Hill. So this is the best field position defensively for Crooksville.
And the Tornadoes with a 21-0 lead midway through the second quarter. Expect a heavy dose of Carter Winland here on this drive if you're Crooksville, and gear up for that.
So a big drive for West Muskingum in terms of where this game could go. Remember, they do get the ball at halftime. There's under 8 to play. This is a give to Carter Winland, and he's tackled hard.
It's a short gain, 2, possibly 3. That's a Ceramic defense up to the challenge on first down. I think a 3-yard gain is a win for the Ceramics when Carter Winland's carrying the football.
2nd down and 7.
Yeah, anytime you can stop him short of the first down or a touchdown, it's usually positive. 4 wide for Anton. Pressure off the edge. He doesn't see it, but he fires the ball downfield just out of the reach, and Anton got drilled on the play.
And that ball just a tad overthrown. Trying to hit sophomore Braxton Brownrigg down the seam. You see Brownrigg showed the speed as he got behind his defender.
I think Anton's going to feel that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he didn't see that one coming. Could have some whiplash effects in the morning, definitely.
3rd down and 7. This is a big play, or a big down and distance for Crooksville. It'll be a easy toss to Carter Smith, and he is past the 40 before he's brought down. So first down, West M.
Smith on the carry.
He's celebrating over there. Carter Smith's one of my favorite players to watch. He's just so athletic. 6'2", 190-pound sophomore, absolutely fearless. You see, he just never gives up on a play. He made a big catch a week ago against Morgan in the 3rd quarter to start that run.
It was a beautiful placed ball in the short part of the end zone there, and he came down with a great catch. Great defense there. I think we even said on the broadcast that defender was right in his face. He couldn't do anything better defensively on that touchdown. But that time, once again, right when we think, West M's moving the ball downfield, Crooksville right in the face and bringing down a loss of Anton there.
Tackled by Browning.
Yeah, they've been able to make some good tackles in this game in the first half so far.
Have a senior Hunter Browning in on the tackle for the Ceramics. So 2nd and long, 15 the yardage. Just over 6 minutes before halftime. Anton with a give to Winland, and he's bottled up.
Yeah, he's only going to gain about 2 yards on that play. It's going to be a 3rd down and 13 for the Tornadoes, and some Tornadoes still down on the ground. One of the big guys. One of the linemen looks like 69.
To Evan Lewis. Try to get an official word on who that is.
He is in some pain and looks to be more than cramping pain.
It's like it's lower leg.
Now for some scores from around our area. In the 2nd quarter, Philo leads Sheridan 6-0. Also from the 2nd quarter, New Lexington leads Maysville 15-3.
So coming up at halftime, we want to remind you the CA Music House, play music for life. Join us for the CA Music House halftime show. The bands will be out here. We saw them on the field pregame for the homecoming festivities. They were all loaded up out there. I'm sure they're ready to perform in front of this crowd here on homecoming.
Yeah, it is homecoming. It's our second consecutive homecoming night. Last week was West, tonight Crooksville. So we'd like to congratulate the 2024 Crooksville homecoming queen, Angelina Wood.
So the injured player was actually Ethan Garrett, 68. He heads to the sideline, the senior offensive lineman.
It's third down. And 13 to go.
So 3rd and 13. This is the longest down and distance on 3rd down that West M's faced tonight. Got 3 wide receivers to the right. Anton rolls that way. Fires pass is caught and tackled. So the Crooksville defense gets a stop. That ball is complete to Coleman Lloyd.
That's going to be well short of the marker, though.
Tackled by Hammer.
It'll be about a 4th and 6. I expect the Tornadoes will punt this football back to Ceramics. You know, Big West Houston's the punter for the Tornadoes.
He's placed a couple beauties so far this season. See what he's got in that right leg here
Back to punt.
with 5 minutes until halftime. Punts this one away deep. Return man going back. He's going to let it bounce. And that was a wise decision as it goes to about the 16. We'll see the Crooksville offense come out. And, you know, they had something promising going on the last drive. They got the ball over midfield, but now they're trying to capitalize here before giving the ball back to West at halftime.
Yeah, that was a big defensive stop, and just around 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. If the Ceramics could muster up anything offensively on this series and get some points on the board, that would go a long way for their momentum and thinking going into halftime.
So here come the Ceramics. It's going to be a fake to the back, and Hill still on his feet, moving his way forward. I tell you what, he he can get out of traffic really well.
Yeah, he did that all on his own. Just a display of athleticism by sophomore Brayson Hill.
Second down.
He should have been taken down right there in the backfield, and he's able to get through not only that, but a handful more Tornado defenders and actually gained 6 yards on that play.
So now on second down, give to Potter. Potter tackled. Just a minimal gain.
Tackled by Smith.
Sorry, that was Eli Harvey on the tote. First time we said his name tonight. Checked in for Potter on that play.
Third down and 2.
So 3rd down and 2. Last time they were in a short down and distance. It was a 4th down a couple drives ago and had a penalty on offense, which moved them back. Hopefully they can find a way to get a first down here on this drive. Hill will keep it, and he's feeling pressure, and he's going to be brought down. He's going to lose a couple on that play.
Tackled by Houston.
Hey, let's see if we're going to get another look at this one or not. Looked like a face mask in there, but wasn't thrown. Looked like his head got kind of jerked back.
4th and 5. Hurst back to punt.
So now another punting spot for the Ceramics.
Hill and Smith back.
Under 3 minutes before halftime. West M could double dip, as Belichick likes to call it. He did that many times during his run with the Patriots. Score and then get the ball back at half. This punt's away. That's a beauty. And Connor Hill is going to let that one roll. And that's a huge boot.
That is. That's
First punt sails to the 28-yard line.
So it checks up on the opposite 28.
Let's see how aggressive Coach Brownrigg wants to get here with a 21-point lead. Just 2.5 minutes before halftime remaining. See if he remains ground heavy or he lets Anton open it up here. We've really only seen Anton attempt one downfield pass, so it was incomplete, intended for Brownrigg. The rest of his passes tonight have been very short.
So they will go on the ground, and it's Winland, and Winland with a juke. Man, he is just hard to bring down.
He really is. This is a huge defensive series for the Ceramics. You definitely cannot afford to fall down 28 at halftime, leaving yourself just one score away from a running clock in the second half. So huge possession defensively for Crooksville. They can find a way to stymie the Tornadoes on this series.
So to the I formation, 2:23 before halftime. Anton will fake, but he feels pressure in his face, throws to Houston, and once again, open field tackling has been impressive.
Yep.
That's the quarterback making the play.
I agree. That's about a half dozen times they've made really, really good open field tackles to prevent long gains, potential long gains.
Second down and 5.
Anton originally in the eye, but he'll back up into shotgun. As the two backs move to the right, and this will be a jet sweep to Braxton Brownrigg. Brownrigg doing his little juke, almost was a forced fumble there, but was able to hold on to the ball. And just a couple of yards on that jet sweep.
Gage Love on the tackle for the Crooksville Ceramics. Sets up a 3rd down and 5 for West Muskingum, and the Tornadoes are going to take a timeout here, Dylan. Talk about this one. Just a minute 25 remaining in the first half, so I'm sure Coach Brownrigg would really love to get some more points on the board and accept the kickoff in the 3rd quarter and kind of put this one to bed. So huge down here for the Crooksville defense. Need to find a way to not just prevent him from getting the first down here, but prevent him really from getting within a yard or two, because Coach Brownrigg will go for this if they get within a few yards. It's so hard to defend when you don't know. They could run any play here. I mean, some teams are a lot more predictable, but West Muskingum, they could really run any play out of this down and distance. You really don't know. They're comfortable doing everything.
They have a very wide open playbook, and they also have a lot of creativity in the playbook.
And Coach Brownrigg has so much trust in his senior signal caller, 3-year starter for the Tornadoes is Jake Anton. He shows and displays that steadiness out there on the field.
3rd down and 5, West Muskingum.
So a big 3rd down and 5, 1:25 before the halftime break. And the Ceramics bringing the blitz. Anton not pressured, throwing it deep, and it's complete for a touchdown. What a throw and catch.
Was that Taven Bennett?
We're trying to get a number on it, and it was Carter Smith.
Carter Smith.
Wow.
And that was outstanding coverage. We're going to get another look at it here. The Crooksville defender was right on him. You can see there's no room there. Perfect throw. Even better catch by Carter Smith. And he finds the end zone. Now we're entering danger zone. If you're a Crooksville fan, 28-0. We still have a minute 17 left in the 2nd quarter.
I tell you what, Anton's been throwing the ball really well. Like we mentioned the ball that he threw to Smith last week, and just a big
I mean, the arm strength it takes to throw that pass he just threw.
With a blitz coming too. He felt the pressure, wasn't scared, was poised in the pocket, stepped up, fired a ball right between two defenders where only his receiver could get it. It's a great throw and catch and shows you why he's one of the best quarterbacks we have in this league.
He sure is. And I remember thinking back to watching him as a sophomore and just very, very timid, very indecisive. He's really grown mentally, but physically he's gotten much, much stronger over the past couple years and is able to make those type of throws downfield.
So 28-0 our score with still 1:17 before halftime, and we mentioned West End will get the ball at halftime. So sure Coach Brownrigg very excited and happy with his team's performance so far in this one. Then he'll get the ball right out of the halftime break. So Kuhn getting ready to kick this one away. And it'll be another chance to return it for Hammer. Hammer with a couple jukes. He's still going down that sideline. There's a flag thrown. But he works his way all the way past the opposite 40.
How unfortunate for the Ceramics. This one's going to come back. This is probably going to be a block in the back on the return against Crooksville.
You know, there is one flaw to point out here with West Em. You know, we've seen their kick coverage a couple times. Silas Kuhn has kicked little onsiders a couple times, but when he kicks it deep, you know, there's potential for big returns that we saw, especially in the new Lexington game. So there's a lot of areas that could be cleaned up when it comes to making stops on the downfield kickoffs. I mean, Hammer is electric.
Yeah.
Runs like a gazelle out there. I'd like to see him get the ball in some jet sweeps or something.
Yeah.
Just give him the ball in space. Just over a minute before halftime. So Braxton Hill will take the carry and be hit in the backfield, and he's going to be brought down. And is picked up for a score. So the fumble was, the ball was ripped out of the hands of the Ceramics sophomore quarterback, and who else than Carter Smith to run it in?
Yeah, Brayson Hill just fighting and fighting for extra yardage here, and instead of just going down, ends up getting the ball stripped. And Carter Smith runs it into the end zone for his second score of the night. One offensive score, one defensive score now for Carter Smith.
Making an early case for the City Tire Pros player of the game. We'll see.
I was just thinking the same exact thing.
So 34-0 with the extra point here from Kuhn. It goes to 30. Oh, it's no good. So right when we say he was Mr. Automatic, the announcer jinxed earlier in the broadcast here, but 34-0 will remain our score with 56 seconds before halftime. I said double dip on the last offensive possession, but there's a chance to triple dip. You got the two scores with the fumble recovery, and they get the ball to start the second half.
And now we're going to have a running clock here in this one as the Tornadoes have extended the lead to over 30 at 34-0 right now. So that means the clock will only stop on change of possession and referee stoppage, unless the Ceramics are able to score and get that lead back under 30.
It will also be located in the top left-hand corner of the scoreboard. On the kickoff.
So under a minute to play.
Back to return.
So again, stick around for the halftime CA Music House halftime show. Coming up right here at halftime, the bands will put their best efforts forward as they get ready to perform in front of this homecoming crowd in Crooksville. Hammer gets his fifth opportunity to return one, and once again, he's able to just juke a defender and get yards.
If there's one thing you can nitpick about the Tornadoes tonight, I don't think Coach Brownrigg is going to be happy with his kick coverage team.
Yeah.
He's probably going to have a lot to say to those guys after the game and into next week's practices.
So in terms of the West Em offense, you've seen 2 touchdowns from Winland on the ground rushing, and then you got the 2 passing touchdowns from Anton.
Throw in the defensive score.
Yeah.
That leaves us at 34-0.
Carter Smith with 2 of those. He also had a big conversion on a jet sweep where he was hard to bring down. And Crooksville looks to run the clock out here. And that is Cam Potter on the carry.
Oh, are you the big winner
Tackle by number 59. Fleming.
And
I remember that, yeah.
looks like the play clock and the game clock are exactly synced up here. So the Ceramics are going to have to run at least one more play.
So 2 wide receivers for Hill in the Ceramic offense. And this will be a quarterback keeper on the option, and getting in there to blow him up, Wes Houston along with Carter Winland. Those are 2 guys you don't want to be hit with.
You don't want to meet those guys with the ball in your hand.
So that will do it for the first half. A very quick one at that. It just got over the 8 o'clock hour. And it's 34-0 West Muskingum. They'll ride that one into halftime, and they'll get the ball to start the second half. So West Dem, a very impressive performance here. Crooksville, to their credit, we've seen a lot of defensive plays. They've been tackling really well, and a lot of positives to look forward to when it comes to that aspect of the game.
Yeah, I agree. And for the Tornadoes last week, they had a really, really sluggish second quarter. So you can tell the emphasis tonight is playing a complete game. Let's put 4 good quarters of football together because they really have came out here determined, the Tornadoes have.
So a lot more action here for you in half number 2, but this will be it for the first half. West Dem heads to the locker room with a 34-0 lead. They'll get the ball to start the second half when we come back, but we're going to step aside and have you enjoy the CA Music House halftime show. We'll step aside. You're watching MVL football on South 60 Films.
You're watching the Tornadoes on South 60 Films.
Now it's time for the halftime show featuring bands from both high schools, presented by CA House Music. Play music for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to unleash your excitement as we welcome the 2024 edition of the Tornado Marching Band. They're storming the field in their 29th season, led by the one and only Mr. Reeds. Brace yourselves for a whirlwind of talent and energy that's sure to blow you away. The band starts tonight with a funky disco song that Lips Incorporated took to #1 for 4 weeks on the Billboard charts in 1980. Here's the groovy classic, Funky Town. English Albanian pop star Dua Lipa had her second top 5 hit in the U.S. with our next song, which was ranked the #1 song in 2021. We continue tonight with Levitating. We finished tonight with a hit song from one of the 80s most epic hair bands, Twisted Sister. Sing along as the band rocks out to We're Not Gonna Take It.
Excuse me, ladies. Can I get to my seat? You're way too big to be.
Ceramic Stadium. Tonight we welcome our marching band alumni on the field with the 2024 Marching Ceramics. Join us by singing along to these songs from Oliver to Tequila by the Champs, Any Way You Want It by Journey, Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, and Hey Baby from the hit movie Dirty Dancing.
No, 11 years under the line. 11 years under the line. So, 62. I just turned 67.
invited to represent Ohio at the 2025 National Independence Day Parade in Washington, D.C. on July the 4th. Congratulations to this young group of student musicians on their many accomplishments. Your State Band Marching Ceramics will be back on the field for their next competition on Saturday, October the 12th at 5:45 at Maysville High School.
Thank you for watching the band halftime show presented by CA House Music. Play music for life.
And we welcome you back here to Crooksville High School. You know, it's homecoming night for the Ceramics, but it's been all tornadoes so far in this one.
It sure has. Started off by Carter Winland.
Yeah, he got that big run to start the first touchdown of the game for the Tornadoes, and then after that, the success continued. This right here, Brayson Hill, keeping his eyes downfield. It was a great throw, but tipped off the hands of the running back Potter, and it was an interception for the Tornadoes.
I think his feet got tangled up, and the turf monster got him there, and he wasn't able to corral that one.
Then it was the passing game for the Tornadoes. This one a strike to Connor Hill for the score. It was Anton's 14th touchdown pass of the year, but his 15th might have been the best throw this year.
Yeah, this may be the best throw you're going to see all year right here. That's a 40-yard frozen rope to Carter Smith.
And then Smith wasn't done. He scored the offensive touchdown, and then again here on defense, rips the ball straight out of the hands of the quarterback Hill, and he trots his way into the end zone. This just under a minute before halftime, and another big score for the Tornadoes. So Smith has his fingerprints all over this one, and it's been all Tornadoes as we mentioned, but Crooksville trying to get a stop to start the second half here, 34-0, and we welcome you back to the field. So West End will get the ball back to start the second half, and this kick is away. A little short one that's going to check up and be fielded there by Carter Smith. Smith past the 35, keeps fighting. Going to get about the 37, make it 38 before he is brought down.
Great field position to start for the Tornadoes. Already up 34-0 and a running clock to begin the second half here in Crooksville.
Smith looked like he was going for his version of the Gordie Howe hat trick. Had a defensive score, offensive score, and was looking for special teams.
Yeah, he can be electric in the return game. A couple weeks ago, we saw him almost take a kickoff to the house.
So now this West End offense will take over with Anton in the pistol. Looks right, the pass complete to Connor Hill. Jukes a couple defenders. He's going left, and he's got space. Then he cuts right, and he has tackled all that dancing, but he barely got a yard.
Yeah, I'd say he probably ran 25 or 30 yards to gain 2 on that play. But great job of contain by the Crooksville defense. Great discipline.
So 2nd down and 8. Hope you enjoyed the halftime show brought to you by CA Music House. The band's put on a performance out there. And a little bit of movement, but this is a give to Winland, and Winland's got a first down near the 50.
I'll tell you, that Crooksville band was outstanding tonight as they welcome back tonight's game. They welcome back former alumni who were formerly in the band. So they had about twice the size that they normally do, and it really sounded good here.
You know, I wondered if a lot of them still practice their instruments, but kind of like they haven't skipped a beat out here.
Yeah, I like that, you know, and bringing your alumni back and involving them like that.
Here's another give to Winland. Winland just hop-stepping his way. He's got a crease down the right side. He's working his way past the 20, showing a burst, and he's going to be tackled just short of the end zone, but another big run from the West End tailback.
Yeah, he's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line there, Dylan, but they're probably going to hand it to him right here on 1st and goal from the 3, would be my guess.
So we mentioned the running clock.
Just for a guy his size, 205 pounds, he can really go from almost a dead stop to full speed in an instant. Just great athleticism by Carter Winland.
So keep in mind here a potential jet sweep. Last time they did this formation, it was Brown Rig. But this will be a quarterback draw. Anton fights forward, and he's in. Touchdown, Jake Anton, this one in the rushing variety. And it is now a 40-0 West End lead here in the 3rd quarter.
That did not take long. 3.5 minutes into the second half. Tornadoes
This is West End football.
find the end zone yet again. Anton, 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing to boot tonight.
So Silas Kuhn will come out and try the extra point. We talked about how he has been money when it comes to nailing extra points. He missed the last one. But I guess when you're getting a lot of work, you're potentially bound to miss one or two. Anton's hold is good, and so is the kick. So 41-0 score, 8:18 to play here in quarter number 3.
41, Crooksville, 0.
It's been all West Em in this one.
You get to see, what Crooksville's made of here. See if they got any fight left in them. I would imagine they do. I like your idea of trying to get Hammer involved, Jacob Hammer, the guy who's shown some explosiveness on runbacks in the kickoff game. I'd like to see them get the ball in his hands, jet sweeps, some screen plays.
They tried to get him involved earlier. It was an incomplete pass. It looked like it was a catchable ball thrown by Hill, but it did not result in a big gain or any gain of that factor as it fell incomplete. So we'll see what this Ceramics offense brings here in half number 2. 41-0 our score. A nice night here at Crooksville.
Yeah, it finally feels like football weather, and it only took until week 7 to get here. But yeah, great, outstanding night for football weather-wise.
One of those nights you show up in short sleeves, but you bring a jacket, and you'll need it right now. This is Hammer on the return. Hammer, another big crease. Hammer working to the 40, and he's past it. I tell you, he's electric.
Yeah, he's consistently returned the ball up to around the 35 to 40-yard line all night, and that's his 6th, maybe 7th return.
The Ohio Educational Credit Union replay, you'll see he's also patient, but he has that burst. So good field position here for the Ceramics. So it was strange that we saw Brayson Hill not start the game. He's been their quarterback all season.
Yep.
And he did not start the game, but he's played every single series since then. This is an end-around give, and there's a lot of tornadoes there to make the stop. It was a
whole slew of tornadoes on the scene. I see Connor Hill in there, as well as Carter Smith, Carter Winland.
It's Eli Sprinkle on the carry.
Yeah, you mentioned that about the quarterbacks. It is puzzling. You just got to wonder if it was potentially maybe a disciplinary thing, maybe late for practice a day, and something like that. It could be something as minuscule as that. But, yeah, it's something we noticed.
4 wide receivers, and this will be a quarterback keeper, and he stays on his feet. Look at Hill.
And he's taking some punishment to gain these yards. These are not coming easy. He's slow to get off the turf there. But yeah, you run the ball downhill, and this West Muskingum defense will meet you with angry faces on.
I tell you what, that was probably one of the best play calls I've seen tonight. They faked it to Hammer, who we talked about getting involved for this team, and found a way to get a positive gain from the quarterback as they faked it to him. This will be another, that's a face mask that comes in there as Hill is brought down.
And we saw the flag come in initially. That was definitely for a face mask, and a second flag came in later. I don't know if it's for the same infraction or something different. Yeah, there's definitely a face mask committed by West Muskingum, which is going to give Crooksville a first down.
Face mask, West End, first down.
So Crooksville only 2 first downs in this game, both of them by penalty. But regardless, it moves them into enemy territory, and they'll try to get their first score of the game. So just 5 minutes remaining now in the third quarter. We mentioned a running clock, so it will not stop unless, even if they scored, it still wouldn't stop because of the last touchdown.
Change of possession and referee stoppage.
There's a give to Hammer. Hammer to the outside, and he's tackled about a gain of 4.
Hammer on the carry.
He was brought down there by Cohen McConnell.
Tackled by McConnell.
McConnell, a sophomore. I think we can expect a little bit more depth here from Brownrigg. Mentioned a 41-0 lead here in the third quarter with only 5 to play. This might be a good time to get some of those younger guys experience. Tell you what, we saw last week a running clock with West End. We saw Grant Rogers run the ball really well.
Yep.
Second down and 7. Hill, a triple option. This one he'll pitch back to the running back, and that is Eli Harvey, brought down on the play by Connor Hill.
Yeah, that play was defended extremely well by the Tornadoes. Multiple layers to defend. You see him keep the contain, keep the edge, and Connor Hill with the athleticism to make the play on the open field. They just every time I see this Tornadoes team, I get more and more impressed with their defensive unit. That unit right there is going to keep them in ball games.
Third down and 8.
So 4 wide receivers here for the Ceramics. Third down and 8. Hill takes the snap, fires across the middle, and there to break up the play is Tavin Bennett.
He's had several pass breakups here tonight. Great game from the secondary for number 13, Tavin Bennett.
So 4th and 8, an obvious go-for-it situation now for Crooksville. Only 3 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Still see most of the starters out there for defense for West Muskingum, but that may change in the fourth quarter.
This might be their last possession. Not sure if Anton and company will come back out for their next offensive drive. We'll keep an eye on that. As this is a 4th down for the Ceramics. It's a screen pass left, pass complete. Jukes a defender, works his way forward, and that's a first down.
Yep. Great looking play. Little bubble screen. You'll see it right here on the replay. Catches it at the 40. Finds his way through traffic. And a gain of 13, almost 14 yards on that play. Probably their best play from scrimmage tonight.
We apologize if you don't say number 5's name. He's not in the program, so there's only so much we can do up here with the roster we are provided. But nevertheless, it's a first down for the Ceramics. Just outside the 25. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. They trail by 41. And this will be Hill. Hill runs left. He's got a little bit of a lane. And look at that. He gets about 8 or 9 on that carry.
So the last 2 plays from scrimmage for Crooksville. Gained 22 yards, and now they set themselves up in a second and very short. It'll be about 1.5. Maybe a short 2. But this is a kind of down and distance that Crooksville can manage, I think. 2nd and 2.
They rush on Harvey. Comes running in from the sideline. Only 15 seconds on the play clock. And we're nearing the end of the third quarter already. 2 wide receivers, and it'll be Hill again. Hill running forward. Look at Hill.
Yeah, he's
quarterback running hard.
He's running with some purpose here in this third quarter. He really wants to put some points on the board for Crooksville, does their young sophomore quarterback, Brayson Hill. Just as soon as we say that, there was a
Ball's
fumble.
on the turf.
There was a fumble on the play, and the Tornadoes apparently have recovered. So
that was a hard hit by Winland.
Yeah.
You see it here on the Ohio Educational Credit Union replay. He blew up the quarterback, Hill. Hit him hard, and he's still down on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, that was helmet straight to forearm, which caused the fumble.
Yeah, Brayson Hill is still down. He took the worst end of that contact. As you mentioned, Hill just a sophomore. And he's just 170 pounds.
He's been taking some shots in this one.
He really has. Especially in this third quarter, they've been asking him to be the primary runner out of the backfield. And he's taken a couple hard shots.
So we've already seen the freshman backup, Brody Cottrell, went 3 and out on his first possession as the starting quarterback in this one.
Drew Hartley. Haley Dobbins.
Well, they're going to get him up off the turf. That's great to see right there. It looked like he was in considerable pain, so very good to see him back up running off the field. You got to wonder if they'll go back to the freshman quarterback for the remainder of the game.
He's shaking his arm. We'll see if he will re-enter. Last year he was the starter as a freshman. He got injured and missed the end of the year last year. He's taking a couple shots. He's frustrated on the sideline visibly, or in his helmet.
Just some really courageous running here in this third quarter by 15 in black. He's did everything he could to get his team down there and just unexpectedly lost the ball.
So West End back on offense. This will be a give to Rogers. We mentioned him just a second ago.
Picking up where he left off a week ago, right? Them fresh legs come in, and when the defense is tired, you can bring them in and not lose a beat.
Tell you what, it's only the second time we've said his name this season. Had a couple carries we mentioned last week, and he's got fresh legs as a sophomore. He might be someone to keep an eye on for years to come once Winland goes and graduates at the end of this year. But that will do it for quarter number 3. Moving quickly here in the second half. 41-0 West End lead. You are watching MVL football on South 60 Films.
You're watching the Tornadoes on South 60 Films.
Quarter number 4 here in Crooksville, 41-0 West End. New quarterback in the game for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, it's freshman Noah Morrison taking the snaps for West Muskingum. And he's a 5'10", 130-pound freshman. Getting some quality varsity reps here in the fourth quarter of this one tonight. The night is over, apparently, for Jake Anton and likely the rest of the key players in white.
Anton, 2 more touchdown passes tonight, including the beauty we saw splitting 2 defenders over the middle. I think we'll be thinking about that one all season long as contender for one of the best balls we've seen all year.
Yeah, Anton's threw several balls that I could not believe were completed this year. Just absolute perfect passes and great catches by his athletic receivers. We've seen Connor Hill and Taven Bennett both have a couple big catches in the end zone this year.
So Anton's stats on the year, 15 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. That's pretty impressive from your senior signal caller.
I concur.
So a pistol formation. And this will be a give to Rogers as he runs ahead and gets the first down and more.
He's a slicer and dicer, or Carter Winland's kind of a hammer. This kid's got some real juice. Really quick feet and can't wait to get to the hole.
Tell you what, if he runs anything like he has the past couple weeks for years to come, it's just going to be a revolving door when it comes to production out of the running back room. You saw Cisse, Winland do an amazing job this year, and Rogers as a sophomore looks
it's incredible what team success does to the younger players in your community.
And that ball's on the ground. You see, I believe West recovered it. And they're going to say it is Crooksville football. There you saw, clear recovery by Crooksville on the Ohio Educational Credit Union replay. So the snap just went off of the quarterback there. It was Morrison taking the snap, but
we see Brayson Hill coming back out onto the field here, Dylan. Great to see he's well enough, healthy enough to get back in this football game. I assume if they had any concerns, he wouldn't be coming back in.
So great grit from the sophomore quarterback. See if he can find the Ceramics in the end zone for the first time tonight. Takes the snap. It's going to be a end-around give, and that would be Hammer on the carry.
Carter Smith on the tackle for the Tornadoes. Holds him to about a yard on that play. 2nd down and 9 for the Ceramics. I know the home crowd here on homecoming night would love to see the Ceramics get into the end zone here.
So just over 9 minutes to play here in the fourth. Hill will roll out right. Fires to a wide open receiver, and he is short of the touchdown. But a good throw and catch. Best one of the night for the Ceramics offense.
Yeah, you're going to get a second look at it here. Ohio Educational Credit Union, instant replay. The receiver just finds a little soft spot right there in the zone. Able to get the ball down near the goal line.
First and goal to go.
So 1st and goal on the 2. Crooksville trying to score here for the first time tonight, 41-0. And this will be a direct give to the quarterback. And Hill works his way
not in yet.
Short.
Not in yet. Looked like he gained about a half a yard. We don't have the best vantage point in the west end zone there, but it looked like he was just about a half yard shy.
Carry to the 1 yard line.
So it was a gain of 1 on the play.
2nd and 1 to go.
10 seconds on the play clock for Crooksville. Gonna have to get it off quick. Rushing the defender on the field, they might have to call timeout. And player was not set, and there will be a timeout to Crooksville.
They just barely got that timeout on time, as that would have been a costly penalty as you were literally knocking on the door of the goal line. And that's just the first timeout of the half for either team. Crooksville 2 remaining. West Muskingum full allotment of 3.
So 7:14 to play here in the fourth quarter. Want to remind you that the game tonight is brought to you by Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First, always making it easier for you to furnish your home. As well as Labby's Zanesville's Flooring Store.
Now to recognize sponsors of Crooksville. Park National Bank. Kessler Heating and Cooling.
This must have been a full timeout here. We're taking an extended amount of time.
Yeah.
Crooksville coming back out there. We're going to have 2nd and goal from the half-yard line.
Ross and Trash Funeral Home. Likewise, Shriver's.
By far their best opportunity of the evening. They definitely want to capitalize on this. Ball security, first and foremost, as these Tornadoes have shown, they will go after the football.
2nd and 1.
So 2nd down and 1.
And they fumbled the football.
Yeah, that's not good.
As soon as I say it, they couldn't even get the snap. And the football was on the ground, and it's going to be West Muskingum ball.
Fumble recovered by West End.
Not what you want here, especially on the goal line. You know, you're thinking you're going to at least get a score here for the home crowd on homecoming night, but you called the timeout in hopes of drawing up a play for it, and now it's a turnover.
Yeah, unfortunately, just the growing pains of a program in transition, you know, trying to find an identity and, You know, Nate Brownrigg, when he first arrived on the scene at West Muskingum, it wasn't easy. It's taken him many, many years to get this program in the position it is now. So if you're a Crooksville fan, just hang in there. I think you got the guy you want on the sidelines in Nathan Van Meter. You got some young players that are really committed to the program here, 9th, 10th, and 11th graders.
There's a lot of positives to look forward to. This right here is Rogers, and look at him run. Gets out of the end zone, backed up there a little bit. But yeah, to your point, you know, Crooksville, a young program, and you know, what happens is these younger players that get varsity experience early on, you'll get to those later years when you're a junior, senior. Next thing you know, your program's very competitive. So,
yeah, I agree. Not only do you get bigger, faster, and stronger during those transitional teenage years, but the playing experience, as you mentioned, that's as valuable as anything.
This is a give to Wes Houston, and he gets to about the 30 before he is brought down.
We saw him take a pass and run down the sidelines a week ago, and I was shocked at how fast he was in the open field. I tell you, 6'2", 240 pounds. You could really line him up anywhere on the field, and he would never hurt your team. I assure you of that. Great guy.
And then you put the neck roll on it as well, and you look even more ferocious out there. So
it kind of looks like A.J. Hawk used to look for the Buckeyes with the neck roll.
This one is a give, and just about a couple yards on that carry.
We're already under 5 minutes to play in this one. This one not
sure who toted the rock.
We got primarily backups in the game at this point. We mentioned it was Noah Morrison taking the snaps for West Muskingum.
They'll go right back. Tackled about the 35-yard line. It is Dre Robinson getting some carries.
Tackled by a group of Ceramics.
So Dre Robinson on the program, listed as an offensive lineman at 5'6", 185, but getting some work as a running back here. So 3rd down and 6, just under 4 to play. It'll be a jet sweep. And trying to get some sort of yardage there, just a couple, as that is Taven Harris, sophomore wide receiver.
Brings up 4th down here for the Tornadoes. The scoreboard says 1st and 10, but it's actually 4th and 4.
4th down and 4.
So 4th and 4. 5 seconds on the play clock, and I think Coach Brownrigg's going to have to call timeout here. So he winds it down to 2:59 before calling his first timeout of the second half.
First charge timeout of the second half.
It's going to be 2 consecutive weeks that the Ceramics have really taken it on the chin. They lost by 30 a week ago to the Electrics of Philo, and they're going to lose by at least 30 here tonight, pending the results of the final 3 minutes of this game. So big, fast start early in the season as the Ceramics jumped out to 3-1, but have since faltered a little since we've got into league play, which is not surprising. The MVL this year just very, very good from top to bottom.
A lot of talented teams.
Yeah.
We talk about New Lexington. They're very impressive. They've battled some injuries the past couple weeks, but you know, they are one of those teams. I'm looking forward to a game. New Lex at Sheridan coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great game.
You talked about Anton briefly earlier about his touchdown to interception rate. I think it's for the 15-2 on the year, and Isaiah Stevens at New Lexington, 17 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Yeah.
So, you know, Max Lyle is maybe the best of the bunch up in Dresden. So
21-3 for him.
I mean, we have really been treated to some really good out quarterback play this year in the MVL.
West End's punt. Shot is cleared to the 10.
So a great punt from West Houston puts Crooksville inside the 10. The waning moments here in Crooksville, 41-0 West End score. Just over 2 minutes to play.
Please remember when exiting the stadium.
And it looks like we are going to see the return of Brody Cottrell. So he got the first drive of the game, and looks like he's going to get the last drive of the game.
I still can't get used to seeing players with numbers in the 20s playing quarterback. He's number 28. It's just bizarre.
So he'll take the snap and give to the tailback. And in on the tackle. Great play there from Denty Tyson, a freshman coming in and making the stop.
That's what you see with these successful programs who have established culture and identity. Even the young players who rarely get to play, they come in and they are so amped and ready to make a play. You see right there, a young freshman making a good open field tackle.
Second down and 14.
And Coach Brownrigg has admitted it took him several years to get his players to buy in. The first year was not polite to him. I'll tell you, West Muskingum really hired the right guy.
So another great tackle there. This one by Tristan McKenzie.
Tristan McKenzie didn't he used to be a pitcher for
Cleveland? He's a Guardians pitcher. Guardians, of course, playing a playoff game tomorrow against the Tigers. Tristan McKenzie, that's the slanky right-hander.
Yep.
So now we're under 30 seconds. This will probably be the final play of the game. Third down for Crooksville. They do have to snap it before the play clock expires. Cottrell will just give to his running back, and tackled at the 1 yard line on the play. That was Eli Harvey, as he is tackled, and that will do it here from Crooksville. So West End comes in after a dominating win against Morgan, and it's the same result here tonight. Taking down Crooksville on their homecoming night. They go scoreless in this one, back-to-back. Tough losses for this Crooksville team, but we mentioned a very young program.
Yeah. Absolutely, and West Muskingum took control of this one early, and they never looked back. Took a 34-0 lead into the halftime locker room and didn't need much else in the second half. It was 7-0 in the second half, but it was not needed as they took care of business here on the road tonight. And if you're a West Muskingum fan, you like to see that, as they had a string of home games and a cancellation. So this is the first time they've been on the road for about a month. Great to see the Tornadoes respond the way they did.
So that will do it here from Crooksville. The final score, 41-0. West Muskingum beating the Ceramics. We'll be back to wrap things up here on the post-game show and also bring you the City Tire Pros Player of the Game. We'll be back. The final score, 41-0. West Muskingum beating Crooksville. You're watching MVL football on South 60 Films.
You're watching the Tornadoes on South 60 Films.
Welcome back into the broadcast booth. Well, Ted, you know, we were treated to a one-sided affair in this one, but there were some positives to look at if you're Crooksville, a young program going on. But let's take a look at some of the highlights tonight. It was Carter Winland getting things started on the ground.
Yeah, Carter Winland, that's the first of his 2 scores on the night. Here we're going to see Anton connect with Connor Hill, one of his favorite targets.
You know, you get Anton on the run, and he can make things happen.
Yep.
This, another big play in the second half. I mean, just coming up and making this forced fumble from Carter Winland.
Yeah, the West Muskingum defense was not playing around tonight.
Well, Crooksville got a turnover here. It was early in the fourth quarter when they were able to take over and get some sort of field position, and right when they were on the 1, they put it on the turf. So, you know, it was just a few highlights here in the fourth quarter because we mentioned it was a running clock.
Yep.
So it was a game that kind of got out of hand early, and then it just rode from there. But a lot of players playing on the West Muskingum side. What are your thoughts when it comes to getting young players involved?
Well, for both sides, I like it. For Crooksville, it's, you know, that's your future. These freshmen and sophomores are the future of your program. For West Muskingum, you never know when you're going to need to rely on some of these guys. So, and they came in, they were game ready here tonight in the fourth quarter.
They were. And then let's hit one more time on Crooksville. We talk about the youth, new head coach this year, and then you look at quarterback in Brayson Hill. Mm-hmm. Ran the ball pretty well tonight, still only a sophomore. I thought he threw the ball pretty well, too, for not having many completions.
Yeah, just not a lot of time in the pocket, and he made the best of a bad situation. He showed his athletic ability, but seems like every time he escaped the pocket, all of a sudden there were 3 or 4 tornadoes on the scene to make the play, and that's just the West Muskingum defense. They're extremely fast and very disciplined.
So we want to give you tonight's City Tire Pros Player of the Game, and it will go to Carter Smith. You know, we showed on the highlights his touchdown catch, the long one that he had right across the seam, and then he also had the forced fumble for a touchdown in the first half. Making plays on both sides of the ball definitely gives you some honors.
Yeah, he brings the energy every single night, and I'm not surprised that we're giving him this award tonight. As you mentioned, a touchdown on offense and also a defensive score, and give him the strip and fumble recovery as well.
Just definitely one of the most exciting players we have. You mentioned one of your favorite players to watch when we come out here and see him play.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great players on this West Muskingum side. They improve with the win to 4-2 on the year with the win. They had the 1 week off. Crooksville drops to 4-3. We mentioned they did still win three games in a row to start the year, so still a program that's on the rise, a young program that's looking to spin some wins together as they get down the stretch. So both of these teams definitely have a bright future in their sights.
I agree, and the West Muskingum Tornadoes, they still have some unfinished business this season, I believe, and they were ranked 12th in the region coming into tonight. I assume they'll jump up a spot or two. Crooksville was in the very last spot coming into tonight, so they'll probably be on the outside looking in when it's all said and done tomorrow morning.
Well, we will find that out when we see those results drop, but the final score from here on homecoming night for Crooksville, they come up on the losing end. It's West Muskingum, a blowout 41-0 win. But that will be the final score here from Crooksville High School. This is another presentation of MVL football on South 60 Films. We'll see you next week at Philo.